She should get at least 10 rocks thrown at her.
Welcome to the recordings of Disabled Fireside Chats with Saint.
Hey city boys, welcome to episode 4 of Disabled Fireside Chats with Saint. I want to come up with a better name for that, so if you guys can help, give me some suggestions down below. But in this video, I want to talk about friendships, I want to talk about envy, and I want to talk about shame. So let's talk about shame first. I think we need to bring back shame, and I know that's just a blanket statement, but like one thing I just cannot stand is like certain things do need to be shared, like when it comes to like abuse, when it comes to neglect, when it comes to some traumatic past experiences. I believe that they do need to be shared, because a lot of times we end up shunning some things inside of us because we feel like nobody else can relate to it. I feel like, especially when it comes to like childhood trauma and stuff like that, because a lot of people have shared childhood trauma, but you're so ingrained in your mind that like what happens in this house stays in this house, so you don't ever talk about it. But when I say shame, like there's this lady and she went to Carnival in Trinidad and she shit on somebody's grave. She's gonna get one nasty curse, but then go on social media and talk about it. Shame. She should get at least 10 rocks thrown at her. Another thing I don't like, and it kind of goes with shame, but it's like I don't like how social media pushes these degenerates. I see like influencership or like people having platforms. I feel like this is my opinion, and I don't give a F. You know, this is Fireside Chats with Saint, girl. Disabled too, so you can't be mean to me because I'm disabled, you know? But the way I see it is like you either have a talent, you're entertaining, we're learning something from you. What else? Just because you could push kids out your cooter cat does not mean that you deserve to have infamy. You get what I mean? And to me, it's just so annoying, especially because like as a creative, like no doubt I'm gonna get, you know what I mean, I'm gonna get popping, I'm gonna get my time in the sun. It was never that deep for me, but it's just seeing it. Like I don't like the push of things like that, especially because in my first video I talked about we don't have those spaces. Like I remember even like in middle school, we would go to the library, not to like learn or nothing, but we would just hang out in the library or like go to the parks or like do stuff like that. There's not a lot of things like that for kids. It's social media. That is their safe space. It's social media. And when you see things like this getting pushed, like the lady that's 26 with 7 kids, or the lady that's 32 with 8 kids, E. Kane getting beat up by her baby daddy and then coming on and doing a wig tutorial and people are following it, or like Peach McIntyre that is always talking about the degenerate things that her husband is doing but turn around and have a kid with him and then take him back. Or like, should I continue? All these girls that you look up to and you think that they're just popping, they got their life going on together, and then they turn around and they have an OnlyFans account. It's like younger girls are seeing these things and they're going to pick up on these things, especially if these are the ways that people are getting attention. And one problem is I talked about this in my other thing, is that a lot of us girls don't get fucking attention at home. So some of us are like me and you reclude and you stay to yourself until one day you end up growing up into a butterfly, right? But some girls want to force their whole cocoon time because of the way that social media is. Social media would speed up that cocoon time instead of being off of social media, where you can take the time to learn yourself, to progress as a person, to build up traits or talents, to build up something that is you, that is not just what other people want you to be or what you've seen other people be and do, but is what you actually want to do. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't like the trend that is going on, and it kind of relates to my whole being weird thing. I mean this more in a positive connotation than the negative ways that a lot of people try to switch it on to you. But I just want my girls to be different. Like where is the differences? I just see monoliths. Where's the differences? You get what I'm trying to say? And I'll never put somebody, I will put somebody down, but for the most part I will not put somebody down for just doing something that is not up to my standards of living. But I want there to be a bigger push of different kinds of women so that these girls can look up to them. I like the inclusion of Doechii because she's like, I don't really listen to her music, but I like the way that she exudes herself. It's not, she shows her sexual side, but she also shows her creative side, and she also shows her human side. You get what I mean? But There needs to be more. No shit, I'm talking about me too. Like, I want to be up there. I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. But I just don't see that. Like I brought up in my Fireside Chats 3 video with, well, I mean, I don't remember what number, girl. Damn, I filmed like 29 of them today. But like I said in my my last Fireside Chats video is, I liked Odd Future, I liked Vince Staples, I liked Earl Sweatshirt. They were skateboarding. To me, it felt different because I grew up in the city. In a residential neighborhood, yes, but in the city, I didn't really see nobody skateboard. But they playing basketball, they playing football. When I was younger, I was playing flag football. I was in archery. Girl, ain't nobody skateboarding, babes. But I was in track. Ain't nobody skate. You know I'm drinking. You know I'm drinking. I gotta be in track. You know I'm drinking. But nobody was doing that. I need there to be differences for us black women to see. That's that. But then friendships for me, like, I like having friends, but I don't really make friends. Like, I haven't made friends recently, which I think is an okay thing, because you don't, a lot of people, I'm not gonna say just nowadays because I don't know how it was back in the days, but a lot of people back on the whole, they don't know themselves, you know? They don't know themselves. So it's hard to be friends with people that don't understand themselves, because what can they add to that friendship but confusion? And kind of like how I see relationships, I need friendships that work into my life. I need friendships that add to my life. I need friendships that not only makes me reflect on myself, but it also betters myself. A lot of people out there are very damaged people. I am a broken person. I'm not damaged, I'm broken. But like a mosaic piece, I was put back together, you know? But some people's broken pieces would shatter your pieces more. And it's kind of understanding how and where to maneuver yourself when it comes to a lot of these friendships. Because I can say personally, when I was younger, especially in high school, I was not the best friend that I could be to my friends, because I was going through a very, very dark time. And I was one of those friends that would trauma dump on my friends. I was one of those friends that, like, I had my happy moments, but I feel like I was down more than I was happy. I was one of those friends that, like, you would have to talk off the ledge, you know? And to be that friend, at first, I was so selfish. I would be honest. I was so selfish, just putting all my problems onto my friends, not understanding and getting to that point that they have their own lives and they have their own trials and tribulations that they're going through. And once I became self-aware and I realized that, I took a step back from that, and I took a step into journaling more or speaking more. And that's when I started to repent. One thing about me, I do repent. I repent for things that have been done to me. I repent for things that I have done, and hardships that I have caused, because I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a great person. I feel like I'm I feel like I'm a good person, but am I a great person? No. But once I stepped back and looked at who I was as a friend, that's when I was able to make, not really a list, but it's just feelings surrounded with a friendship. So one thing about me is, like, I don't have to talk to my friends every single day because life is crazy, you know what I mean? But like, when me and my friends talk, we have conversations. Like, for example, me and Anjali, we'll probably talk, let's say we talk once a week, right? Or once every 2 weeks. We talk once every 2 weeks. That one conversation that we have in those 2 weeks would make up for the whole 2 weeks that we have not talked. And I don't mean in length in conversation, but I mean the depth of conversation. That is something that I value a lot in my friendships. And with the depth, it comes honesty. Can my friend be honest with me? Let's say, for example, Alicia. I asked Alicia, this was years ago when we were in high school. I asked Alicia, do you think I can be one of the greatest artists of all time? Alicia looked me in my eyes and she said, no, I don't think so. And at first I was hurt, because I'm like, what the heck? You think my work is not good enough? But Alicia told me, you cannot be the best artist of all time if nobody's seen your work before. And I said, wait, that's honesty. I need that. there's so many times when my friends have called me out. So many times. When it comes to just decisions that I've made personally, relationship decisions, sometimes educational decisions, but not really. But, you know, things like that. I need the accountability. Well, not really. This is more self-accountability, but is that when it comes to friendships, it's what kind of path are they leading you to? What kind of path are they going on? Because the thing is, we have down times, you know, we have times where we're not really hitting our life goals where we projected ourselves to be, right? There are times like that, and that is understandable. But is your friend even working? Not working a job, well, that too, but you get what I mean. Are they working towards it? Are they making strides, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally? Are they making strides? Are they still stagnant in a lot of the beliefs that they have? You know, that's another thing. I also think about ignorance. There's so many people that are ignorant, and stuck inside of their ways and their own thought patterns. One thing with me is my brain goes all over the place when it comes to like creativity, and I don't like people that are really stuck in their own choices and their own thought patterns. I'll give an example. I always say the same names. Alicia, she's a very strong Christian woman, which I love. That I love how strong she is in her faith, and she never forced it onto me. She would say her things, and we agree on a good amount of things. Some things we don't agree on, and that's perfectly fine, but she never pushed it onto me. One of my art pieces that I made, it was a 3-part hell depiction, and she never shamed me for it. She understood why I had to create it and why I had to let that image out of me, right? But I had another friend that was like kind of shaming me for creating it, and like, why are you doing that? What is the point of that? Like, why do, and not in a way that she's inquisitive about it and she wants to understand my thought pattern, but in a way to make me feel unmotivated to do it, to make me feel like this was a stupid decision. That's not a friend. You get what I mean? So there's things like that to look out for when you're picking a friend. How much does that person care about you? Does that person even check up on you? That's a big thing that we all miss out on. Because a lot of people can say, how are you? But it's about the people that actually mean it. How are you? How are you doing? How are you mentally? Friendships like that you have to look out for, especially with the way that the world is working right now. You need people in your corner that actually care about you, especially if you want to go further in life. One thing you need to look out for, there's a few things, but there's handlers. There's people that will come into your life to manipulate your life for it to go in a certain direction. You need to watch out for those people. That's another part of being self-aware, because when you're self-aware, you know the path that you're walking. You know, I know that I have to go this way. I have to make a right. When I see the White House down there, I make a left. When I see that one rooster crow 2 times, and I run 2 times faster, and I make a right. Then I make a, you know your life path. But then somebody else comes in your life, and they're like, you know what? Instead of making that right, just make a left. Just make a left, because this way is faster. That's not your friend. That is not your friend. That's not your friend. And you also need to look into these people's eyes. That's one of my biggest things. Look in their eyes, because their eyes will tell you everything. And some people think that's like kind of nonsense, but that's the people that don't do the work to understand the eyes. Look into their eyes. The eyes will tell you the path that they want you to take, as in the reason why they're in this friendship. So I would tell you guys to do that, please. And please watch out. Use your discernment. If something don't make sense, it probably just don't make sense. Don't try to make it make sense. If the person don't make sense, they don't make sense. Don't try to make them make sense. If they don't make no sense, don't add your sense to give them $1. Okay? So that's what I want to talk about when it comes to that. Jealousy. I'm not gonna lie, one thing about me, I fought very hard to not feel jealousy. It's very easy to fall into that, especially when it comes to social media. Because you're seeing just the perfect parts of everybody's life. You're seeing the pretty pictures, you're seeing the pretty vacations, you're seeing material objects that you wish you can obtain, or you want, or you didn't know that you want, but now you want it, and stuff like that. When I tell you, I'm gonna say it for me, you don't feel it. when I tell you, like I said, I'll talk deeper about my life as time goes on, and you know, but there was people multiple times I've told, love your body, bitch, I don't eat. During my spring semester, freshman year, all I was eating was Jolly Ranchers. You are so smart, because I felt like that was all I was worth. So I spent all those hours in the library studying. I wish I can do art like you. If you understood the process that it goes through just to get in my brain, and how it keeps going in my brain, almost like it's driving me crazy, the image of my art, you wouldn't even want that just from that. But the art that I create is from pain, years of pain. You don't want that. I remember somebody, when I was younger, I was in high school, I got an MCM belt. Oh my gosh, I wish I had that belt, Didn't even know I got busted my lip. That was the reason why I got the belt. Don't ever envy people's lives. See somebody on a vacation, you don't know if they popping that puss to go on a vacation, or that bus to go on their vacation. Don't envy. But after my surgery, after my accident, I started feeling that little pieces of envy, and I was envying people that was walking. I'm like, they just walking. I'm not gonna lie, can I be honest? Is this a safe space? I would see some fat people, and I'm like, y'all don't even give a fuck about y'all legs, and y'all just there. And I'm over here, I walk every single day, every day. I don't be running because, you know, my thighs thick, so. But I was feeling envious of that, because, like, I was seeing people jumping and stuff. I'm like, I can't even do that. But it's just for right now, you know? It's just for right now. That's what I had to remind myself. Like, it's just right now. Like, it's literally just right now. But, like, it's gonna turn around, you know? So, it was really that for me. Just feeling that. But, like, when I tell y'all, don't feel no envy. Don't get jealous. Don't do any of that. Because when I tell you, if you ever got your wish and you got those people's lives, you would kill yourself. No, like, I'm not even being funny about it. Like, not even trying to sound hard or nothing, but if some of you guys, I can't say all, because some people have them really tough lives, so it's like they go through my life like this, but some people, if they experience even 10% of my life, they would have killed themselves. I can say that with, like, straight face. So please don't ever envy me, because when I tell you, every day for me is a struggle, whether that's physical or mental or emotional. I'm struggling in some way, but at the same time, I'm hitting my shit like this. Yeah, I'm fighting every single day, and for me, I'm winning. That's how I say it. I'm alive, so I'm winning. But please don't envy people. And my thing is also, get the fuck off of social media. Get off. I'm gonna start reading the Bible. No shade. I brought it up today, and I was like, I just said it just to say it, but I think I am, because why not? Because this social media stuff is it be getting demonic, girl. No shade. I don't want to say everything's demonic, but it be getting very dark, and it alters your mind. Like I said, symbolism, sound waves. I want to get deeper into that. I'm gonna get deeper into that, because I want to learn more about that. And whenever I learn something, I always want to talk about it with people. And, like, a lot of people in my life, they don't really want to talk about certain stuff, so I'll talk about it with you guys. No shade. So y'all, are we friends now? No shade. I think we're friends. Also, guys, I'm gonna start acting, so I'm gonna make a series of me acting, and so I could get cast in season 3 of the Vince Staples show, because I feel like I would be a good actor. No shade. And I feel like I'm really emotive. Look. I could cry too. Look, I don't feel like crying right now, but, like, I could cry, and I could yell. I don't really like yelling though. It makes me uncomfortable. But, like, if the check is good, I'll yell. You know, shade. And I could give a side eye. Look. All right, wait, watch this. I will watch. Look, on spot. Or I hit one of these. Look. Wait. Okay, maybe let me look. Wait. But no, I'm gonna start an acting series, so. But yeah, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want me to talk about anything else, like any topics in my disabled fireside chats with Saint, please let me know. If not, like I said, I'm just gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about. I do want to start like a series for my recovery, so I won't be able to talk about like the accident and all that kind of stuff and show you guys my time in the hospital. That's for a whole nother thing. But I do want to take you guys along for like my recovery journey. I have been recording my physical therapy appointments, my knee surgeon appointments, not the new one that I have now, but my past one. So I have been recording that, so I want to start uploading that, but I'm just gonna ask my attorney about that first. But I want to show you guys like my recovery process and what I'm doing, and the different like workouts that I'm doing. And then once I'm like out of surgery, then we're gonna just get this body tea, and that will be a part of my recovery journey as well, just getting my body tea, like, cause yeah. But yeah, bye city boys.